Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Dynamite post-show review. What a loaded card we have for tonight. MJF defending the world title against Roosh. Owen Cup matches, Willow Ospreay, Mark Davis semi-final match, Alex Windsor against the wild card, TNT title match, Speedball Mike Bailey challenging Kevin Knight for the TNT title. So loaded card. So let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off backstage. Renee with Roosh earlier today asking his thoughts about the world title shot tonight. Roosh tells the camera he's beaten the entire roster, winning his matches in less than a minute. Waiting 3 years, finally he getting his shot for the world title. This is for his people, his family, his pride. He will take that title because when you mess with the bull, and then MJF walks in and tells him to finish his catchphrase, slapping him in the face, saying if he's the bull that makes MJF the matador. Roosh shoots a double leg and security quickly ran in to separate both of them. So excellent start to the show. Again in the arena, we go backstage with Renee again talking to Roosh as they are approached by Andrade, telling Roosh to do this for his family, who says we can be world champion, show everyone who Roosh is because you mess with the bulls, you get the horns. Roosh put on his mask and is out for the opening contest. So we're starting off hot. MJF Roosh world title, no countouts. These two beat the living hell out of each other as the crowd were loudly behind the challenger from the very start. I don't expect MJF having title defenses every week as Darby did, but by God, this was one hell of a title defense by MJF. And I can assume only Mark Briscoe might be next in line, and we certainly might see Andrade as well. MJF came out dressed as El Matador and demand Justin Roberts tells the fan he took out their hometown boy, Hangman, who can never challenge for the world title. And bells sounded and both slug it out until MJF spat in the face, slapped Roosh and told the crowd to suck it before running into an overhead throw in to the outside. Roosh tossed aside a top turnbuckle pad. MJF backed off and was baffled with a loud right hand to the face. That looks brutal. We know Roosh is a very hard-hitting competitor. MJF drive Roosh face first into the steel, busting him open, then repeatedly punching the exposed head and bouncing back German and running drop kick got Roosh his first near fall before going up top for a shotgun drop kick as well. So these two just beating the living hell out of each other and very hard hitting match. Roosh wanted another pile driver on the apron, but his left arm gave out. Attempting a bull's horns against the barricade, MJF avoided and Roosh crashed and burned, leading to MJF connecting a tombstone on the concrete, and that looks very brutal to see. We saw Roosh took a long time to go up top, missed a drop kick, allowing MJF to apply the label lock, and Roosh initially mocked MJF while in the hold, flipping him off, but ultimately passed out, and MJF retains the title. This was one hell of a title defense. MJF retained in a very good match. Post-match, we saw MJF lined up Roosh to deliver a bell shot. Mark Briscoe music hits and sprinted out. Briscoe ducked a bell shot, wanted a Jade Driller, but MJF got a low blow. MJF held the title high and was about to deliver the shot to Briscoe, but conglomeration all hit the ring and MJF bailed out. So again, a very good match, title match, and next program might be set up for MJF as well. Next up, we saw Mark Briscoe versus Lio Rush. If there's one word to describe this one, it will be fun. These two had the crowd from the opening bell, and their craziness made this a plenty dang entertaining battle. We are seeing Lio Rush Blackheart character, and it's very interesting to see this character developing on AEW television as well. For the match, we saw Lio Rush speed put him in control, leading a low tope, rolled through a frog splash. Briscoe unleashed the palm strikes, flying forearm and exploder, trying to hit a Jade Driller, jackknife cover for a 2 count. Briscoe was ready to swat Lio Rush out of midair and deliver a cutthroat driver for the pinfall victory. And post-match, Briscoe took the mic, talk about its birthday. Mark found himself making his debut in AEW. Briscoe told MJF he could only imagine the emotion and rage he has to bury deep inside him. AEW saved his life, so he wants to challenge for the world title. He wants to beat MJF again as he did last year at All Out. MJF popped back up and the rage returned. Only difference is MJF has something he wants, the world title. And Briscoe feels these demons on him. How appropriate, devil ain't that cute. Big Hebrew, it says child of God on Briscoe's chest and demands a title shot. I think so it's gonna be a fantastic match. It might happen at Forbidden Door as well. So very interesting build up towards Forbidden Door continues. Triangle of Madness interrupting Excalibur running down the card for next week. They came from the crowd. Tekla talks about challenging any girl from Stardom. Tekla admits she did get fired from Japan, so they have to do this all over again. Sky Blue has to win the One Cup. Tekla warned Stardom and Taro Okada to give him the best of Stardom. Then Tekla climbs the ladder on the stage and spits on the Stardom name on the throne. Something Excalibur has to apologize for. So again, building a match for Tekla on Forbidden Doors pay-per-view. I think so. It's gonna be a interesting choice from Stardom who shows up to challenge Tekla. Ospreay is backstage with Death Riders. Garcia is bringing up Mark Davis did to him last time. Moxley walks in and asks what Garcia is doing. Garcia said, talking about Ospreay and getting him prepared for his semi-final match. Moxley said he doesn't like all these groups in AEW. Ospreay's job is to beat Mark Davis. Don't worry about anything else. He's starting to see it in Ospreay, who thanks them as the Death Riders leave, and hyping up the match for the semi-final of Owen Cup. Next up, Andrade in action. Andrade opted to take his traditional selfie with a female fan ringside prior to this one instead of mid-match. We saw quick win for Andrade as he's spinning back elbow and the DM for the pinfall victory. Post-match, Andrade said in the post-match, since MJF has the world title, he knows MJF has beaten Rouge, but does MJF think he can beat the Latino man? How you know? So again, setting up another challenge for MJF. Callis walks out with Jake Doyle. Told Andrade great job, but has something very important to say. He introduces the new member of the Don Callis family. And shockingly, the Jet Kevin Knight walks out, said with so much enthusiasm that Callis lost his teeth in the process. Knight came out, hugged Callis. Andrade looked clearly annoyed to this. And this led to our next match for the TNT title. Kevin Knight, Speedball, Mike Bailey for the TNT title. And my god, this was one hell of a match. In a match filled with counters and having the others scouted perfectly, these two put one great match. Interestingly, that Knight becoming another member of the Callis family. And I am intrigued on seeing where that ultimately goes. It's a very interesting direction for Kevin Knight joining the Callis family. Bailey attempted a tilt-a-whirl DDT, but Knight had it countered into a suplex, sliding lariat for a 2 count. We got the 10-minute call. Knight corrected a springboard lariat from the ring to the outside. Bailey got a flash roll-up for a very close 2 count. We saw Bailey wanted a flamingo driver, only Knight held on as Doyle distracted referee long enough for Callis to swipe out Bailey's legs. Scary spot. Knight hit an avalanche spinebuster followed with a huge rock bottom for the pinfall victory and retaining the TNT title. Post-match, we saw Knight took the mic and said that's how you do it. Just needed to get rid of the dead weight and link up with the Callis family and become Jet 2 Belt, saying MJF, he's waiting for him. So again, we are also setting up Knight versus MJF as well. I don't think so this match will happen because both are heels. So again, maybe a future match. Renee is backstage with the dogs who mock their 5-second pause. Bucks walks in and asks who let the dogs out. They know the dogs are the new guys and want to make an impression. They noticed and said they question if the tag title should go to the worst leader of the Bullet Club and the Timo Hangman, so mocking both Clark Connors and David Finlay as well. Matt said they can wrestle tonight to determine who's next in line, but Finlay said the number one contenders will wrestle when they feel like it. So they might be setting up a number one contenders match between the Dogs and the Bucks, and the winner might get that first title shot against Cope and Cage. Renee is backstage with MJF, who's in the ice bath, brings up the recent list of potential challenges for his title. MJF said no match for Mark Briscoe as the world title is for winners, top guys like MJF, who Briscoe is not. MJF word is bound and no one in his company can trump him. For the last and final time, stop asking Briscoe cause it ain't happening. So again denying Briscoe, but I think so that there will be a match between these two for the world title because Briscoe has a pay-per-view victory on MJF, so he wants to rectify that. Next up, Alex Windsor, quarterfinal match against the wild card, and boom, we saw Mercedes Moné coming back to AEW television with the new theme song. For not having wrestled on AEW TV since New Year's Eve last December, Moné looked good here, and I assume she will be heading into the finals as the new odds-on favorite to take this whole thing for the second year in a row. Massive pyro for the Moneymaker, and again a very good match between these two. Three Amigos connects for Moné. Windsor ramped up into a misdirect flying forearm. Windsor leapt into Moné, trying another Three Amigos, only this time Windsor spun out into a scary made in Japan for a very close 2 count. Moné hit a stiff knee lift, another backstabber, and statement maker applied once more, with this time Windsor tapping out and Moné getting the victory and moving into the semi-final match. Post-match, Moné took the Owen title and held it high as commentary brought up how she won it last year and seemingly is defending her crown as well. So again, we might see Moné Athena in the final at Forbidden Door as well now. Renee is backstage with Don Callis Okada talking about constantly recruiting top stars as Callis is a magnet with everyone coming to him. Mark Davis will break the chicken neck of Will Ospreay and Callis family will strut into the world title picture at Wembley and All In. Callis said Okada was screwed and they aren't standing for it. Okada said Konosuke Takeshita nothing without the Callis family, and then the international title doesn't belong in a backpack and won't be there for long. So again we are still teasing Okada Takeshita part 3. We get the footage of last week attack on Jericho by Tommaso Ciampa along with the promo on Collision Ciampa did. We go backstage to Ciampa, who said Jericho is home this week because Ciampa beat him up again. Fans welcomed Jericho back with the open arms, then reality struck. Jericho was gone. Ciampa tells Jericho to stay away, lick his wounds, and if he returns, Ciampa will be waiting, you stupid idiot. And I think so that's a very good promo. It's gonna be a fantastic tribute and something new on AEW television. And in the main event, Will Ospreay, Mark Davis, Owen Cup semi-final match. My god, this was one hell of a fight. The Dynamite Classic main event only. We saw another 5-star main event from Will Ospreay as well. The final 5 minutes of this match was a pure chaos and I love that. This was an all-timer finish of Dynamite and highly suggest checking it out. Ospreay has officially stamped his tickets to the finals of the Owen Cup. But my god, this was one hell of a match. We saw massive chops continue to crumble Ospreay. Quad kicks led to a thrust kick on Mark as Davis threw a desperation chop. Davis swatted Ospreay before he could fire Hidden Blade, but Ospreay was there with multiple hook kicks and Robinson special for a very close 2 count. Davis held on because Ospreay wanted a pile driver. Ospreay countered into a Hurricane Run to the floor. After all this action outside, we get a count out tease. Davis just broke the count. Davis kicked out of a very beautiful Styles clash from Ospreay. Ospreay ducked and referee Paul Turner was hit by Davis. Ospreay hit the Hidden Blade and had a visible pin but no referee. Beretta Colon hit the ring attacking Ospreay. Utah Daniel Garcia made the save. We saw Archer ran out. Claudio comes in to up the ante. Brian Cage is out on Claudio as well. Pac jumped in with a combo kick, so pure chaos in the main event. Pac threw in Turner, who started to count, but Jake Doyle pulled him out, attacking Pac and laid out Ospreay with a jumping knee. Marina Shafir leapt onto the back of Doyle. Moxley appeared from behind and slugged it out with Doyle. Moxley and Shafir clotheslined Doyle to the floor. Pac hit a massive moonsault onto the entire pile. Ospreay was about to hit Davis, and we saw Kyle Fletcher appeared behind Ospreay, spiking him with the Snapdragon before pulling out the screwdriver. And Konosuke Takeshita made the save before he could use it as Protoshita brawled around the ringside. Davis was left with screwdriver. Ospreay hit a hidden blade through it and another to the jaw, but no referee. Bryce Ramsberg sprinted out. Davis kicked out at 2. Davis ducked hidden blade and spiked Ospreay with an awful waffle, but Ospreay kicked out as well. Davis went for his bounce back lariat. Ospreay floated through, locked in the death ground submission, and Davis panicked and tapped out. Ospreay defeating Davis and going to the finals of the Owen Cup at Forbidden Door. Massive victory for Ospreay. Chaotic main event, and I like the finish as well. So again, Ospreay is into the finals next week. It will be Swerve versus Brody King in the another semi-final match, and we might see Ospreay Swerve in the finals of Owen Cup at Forbidden Door as well. So again, a very good ending to the show. Very good episode of Dynamite. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.